Good evening, Kiara.
Good evening, teacher.
Let me see. Good evening, Raúl. Raúl, can you hear me? I don't think so. I don't think he can hear me.
Sorry, teacher. Sorry.
Okay. Hello, Raúl. How are you?
How are you, teacher? How are you?
I'm great. What about you?
Good. Good. I am working in this moment. I am pending pendiente and difficult develop in every moment, every moment.
Why?
I am working in this moment.
Okay, you are working. Okay. Okay. So you are connected. You are logged from your mobile phone.
Yes, iPhone, yes.
Okay, good. Good, Raúl. And what are you doing? Are you painting?
Yes. In this moment, I am painting.
A house, I suppose so.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So we have here, today we have Raúl, Jimmy, and Kiara. Kiara is still in Melgar.
Of course.
Okay, Jimmy, are you from a municipality from Villavicencio, something like that?
Yes, teacher. I'm here in Restrepo. It's near Villavicencio.
Restrepo near Villavicencio. Okay, but
Yes.
where do you live? In Restrepo? No.
Yes, I'm living in Restrepo.
Okay. Is it big or a small town?
Small down.
How many people are there in that town?
Exactly, I don't know, but I believe 300.
300. Oh, it's a very
Yes,
small town.
it's very small. Yes.
Okay. And what is the typical food in Restrepo?
The typical food is pan de arroz.
Pan de arroz?
Pan de arroz with your favorite drink or beverage.
Pan de arroz with your favorite. Okay. So what is for instance, a soda or coffee or something like that?
Yes, is you prefer soda, avena, milk, orange, or other juice.
Okay, so there are many bakeries in Restrepo.
Yes,
And
it's
you
a
like-
famous it's a famous here in Restrepo. In Villavicencio or department of Mera, the typical food is carne a la llanera.
Yes,
But in Restrepo is pan de arroz.
pan de arroz. Okay. Okay, now we have another student here. We have Jorge Andres. Hello, Jorge Andres. How are you today?
I'm a splendid teacher. How are you?
Great. Where are you, Jorge Andres?
I am in Bogota, in my home.
Okay, you're at home. You are in Bogota. So today we have 4 students. Kiara is in Melgar. Melgar belongs to Tolima. Jimmy is in Restrepo near Villavicencio. Raúl is in Sydney? Sydney? Raúl?
Yes.
Australia?
Yes, teacher.
Sydney.
Yes, teacher.
In Sydney,
Yes.
Australia. He's a Colombian man living in Australia. Jorge Andres is in Bogota. So we have 4 people from different countries, from different cities here and abroad. We're going to start today. I'm going to share my screen. Let me see this one. Okay, but I'm not sharing my screen. Wait a minute. I need to share my screen now. And you are going to look at a text there in your screens. I would like Jimmy, please, could you read the text, please, the paragraph?
Okay, teacher, all text?
Yes, all the paragraph, all the
Okay,
text.
okay. Most teenagers in the United States drive our own cars. In this country, drivers are required to obtain a license from their state of residence. Most states permit 50-year-olds to apply for their driver's license, but they must attend a driver's educational program either in schools or at a professional driving school. During the program, people must to pass a full medical examination and an eye test in addition of a certain number of hours of driving practice. As soon as they finish the program, we must pass a written test and driving test. The written test has 200 questions, and it covers the applicant's knowledge of traffic signs, traffic regulations, vehicle mechanics, and first aids. The driving test was generally taken in a special area where applicants have to drive off a series of difficult obstacles on the road. For immigrants, it is obligatory to speak English very well in order to enroll on the driver's educational program. It must have a passport or birth certificate as ID. In some states, the legal status of the immigrant is not an issue. In others, it is the first requirement for applications. Finally, the cost of the test is around $200, but it varies from the state to state.
Jorge, after reading the text, could you tell us what is the topic of the text? What is it about?
Okay, the principal measure for me, or I understand, it's different drivers is necessary obtain a license. In this case, drive cars. In different programs or different maybe requirements, the person who want to drive, I need it to release this action.
Okay, so the topic is about, or the topic is how to get, how to obtain a driver's license in the United States. Okay, that's the general topic of the text. And there you can find some about how to apply or how to get that driving license in the United States. We are going to start with an exercise. We're going to look at the text. We're going to look at the text, both paragraphs, and you are going to try to identify some mistakes. We are very good at identifying, at finding mistakes. No? We are very good because we didn't make those mistakes, but another person made those mistakes, so we are good at that. So the idea is read the text again by your own and try to identify mistakes, errors, okay? I'm going to give you a let me see, 7-11 mistakes as you can in the text, okay? Is it clear? Can you understand? what you have to do?
Yes, teacher. For me,
Okay,
yes.
so I'm going to give you 3 minutes from now on. Go ahead, please. Okay, guys. So let me know. Jimmy, Jorge, Kiara, and Raul. Did you find any mistake, any grammar mistake?
I found one mistake.
Tell me, Kiara.
In what it say, the writing test have 200 questions, and it's has. The writing test has, I would say,
Okay,
200 questions.
the written test have 200 questions. Now, what is the mistake?
Have, I would say it's has, no have.
Okay, good. Here, you can use have. This is a third person, the written test. You are talking about the written test, it. So it's a third person, you have to use has, no? The written test has 200 questions. Good, very good. Any other mistake that you could found, Kiara, Jorge, Raul, or Jimmy?
Yes, teacher.
Tell me.
I encounter 3 mistakes.
Tell me.
Okay, one mistake is at the part said people must to pass a full medical. The preposition to
Okay.
is not correct. It's people must pass.
Okay, good. When we are using the modal verbs must, should, would, can, could, we don't use the preposition or the particle to, no? You say people must pass, and that's all. Okay, that's one mistake. What is the other?
Okay,
Jimmy?
teacher. Okay, the other mistakes I encountered is the paraphrase program at their schools or at a professional driving school. The letter A is not correct. It's at professional, no at a professional driving school.
Oh, let me see. I don't know where is that.
In the four,
This one?
yes, there, teacher.
You say they must attend the driver's educational programs at their schools or
Or
at.
at professional driving school. I think the letter A is not correct there.
Okay, you say that this letter A, the article, is not necessary there. Let me see. They must attend the driver's educational program at their schools or at the professional driving school. No, but that's not correct because we are talking about only one school, only one. If we say schools, plural, you don't use this A, but here, that's correct at their school or at the professional driving school. No, it's good. So that's not a mistake there. And the last one, Jimmy.
Okay, the other is in the say, most teenagers in the United States drive our own cars. I believe it's not our, it's their own cars.
Okay, this one. You don't use here in this sentence, you don't use the personal pronoun our. You have to use their because you are talking about teenagers, no? Teenagers. Most teenagers in the United States drive their because it's their.
Yes,
cars.
their own cars.
Good, very good. Anyone?
Okay, teachers, no more teacher.
Okay, anyone found another mistake?
Teacher,
No?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. In the second line, maybe must stay permit 15 years is there is not a S, maybe?
Okay. You say that 15 years.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let me write something. Most. Okay, no, only 15 year old. 15 year old. Let's say 15. Okay. In English, sometimes they try to make a full or a long sentence, a long expression. They try to make it shorter, no? For instance, instead of saying a boy or a man or a girl who is 15 years old, they can say only 15-year-old. And they use the colons, this one, okay? But here, when we use this kind of expression, it's not necessary to say 15 years. For instance, 2-floor building. In English, instead of saying that a building has 2 floors, you can say 2-floor building. Un edificio de 2 pisos, yes? But when we use this type of expressions, we don't use the plural. We say 2-floor building. And we use the colons, okay? So here, there is not a mistake. In this one, In this expression, we don't have a mistake, okay? Because here we use singular 15-year-old two-floor building, okay? This is a different or a typical expression in English. In order to make a longer sentence, make it clear, make it shorter, okay? So here there is no a mistake. Anything else? Jorge, did you find another mistake?
I think so. Another in the where is in the file line examination and I test. I think so. What is the I don't know. I don't know how I say the possession is like a driver's license. I think so is ICE test, maybe.
Let me see. Let me see. What sentence is that?
The second line.
The second line. So,
Five.
okay.
Just forgive me.
5. This one examination
And
and an eye test.
ICE test, maybe.
Okay, no, it's the same. Eye test. You don't use the plural. Eyes test? No, eye test. Un
It's
examen de ojo.
like possession.
Okay, yes, but it is not necessary here. In English, we can use eye test in order to say examen de ojos. In Spanish, we say plural, examen de ojos. Here, no, it's not necessary. Or we don't have to use the possessive. The possessive is that.
Possessive.
Eye test. No, here is not necessary. Okay. Okay, well, now I'm going to give you I'm going to be more clear. I'm going to highlight some sentences in order to look at carefully in those sentences because there are some grammar mistakes, okay? The first one we have already identified. This is our. Instead of our is the possessive or the personal possessive there, no? Here, sorry, said there is a mistake, but it's not here. Here is not a mistake. So the mistake is in the first part of the sentence, must stay permit. Here, people must to pass, so we found the mistake, we don't use to. In addition of a certain numbers of hours, there is a mistake. The written test has, Kiara identified the mistake here. And there are other mistakes in the following sentences. The driving test was generally taken where applicant have to drive. It must have a passport. Legal status of the immigrant is not an issue. In others, and final, the cost of the test. So let's see. Here in this one, what is the mistake, guys? Can you identify the mistake?
There's more, most stages.
Yes. Here is plural, most. When we say most, we are saying like in Spanish, la mayoría, ¿no? Most. For instance, when you say most people, estamos diciendo la mayoría de la gente. And here we are saying most states, la mayoría de los estados. Entonces, here we have to add an S, most states permit 15-year-old. Okay, this one, in addition of a certain number of hours. What is the mistake here?
In the word certain is ing in addition of a certain number?
No.
No?
That's a correct word. Okay, the mistake here is related to the connector, the linking word. Remember that in English, we have some connectors on linking words that help to link, as its name, to link words, to link paragraphs, to link sentences, no? And the linking word or the connector, in addition, always work with to, okay? We always say in addition to, okay? En Spanish, nosotros decimos además de, ¿cierto? But in English we say in addition to. That's why we can identify the mistake. Nosotros no identificamos el error porque nosotros pensamos en español, ¿no? En español nosotros decimos además de, ¿cierto? But in English we don't say in addition of, we have to say in addition to. Okay, so the mistake here is in this preposition of. Okay, this one, the driving test was generally taken. Here is a mistake. What's that mistake?
In the verb taken, is not taken or took?
No, no, taken is correct because they
Okay.
are saying was taken, fue tomado o fue generalmente tomado. But there is a
Okay.
mistake according to the tense. Anyone?
Isn't the driving is driving or driving? The driving test.
No.
Okay.
No, driving
Teacher,
test is correct. You can say
generally is, the driving test generally was taken?
no,
No, that's incorrect.
no. Here the mistake is the tense. It's not past, it's present. The driving test is generally taken.
Ah, okay.
The driving test is generally taken, no? We are using an adverb of frequency generally, that's correct. You can use here between the two verbs, was generally taken. Or you can use this generally at the beginning of the sentence. For instance, generally, the driving test was taken or is taken. In this case, it's present, is taken. Okay, in a special area where applicants have to drive. What is the mistake here?
Applicant.
It's easy. It's easy.
The applicant, yes. The verb have is has.
Okay, you can change or applicant or you can change have. One of them. For instance, if you are going to say applicant, you have to say has.
Has, yes.
Because it's third person, only one. Or you can change applicants and there you use have, no? Applicants have to drive or applicant has to drive.
Right, yes.
That's a concept named or called concordancia. Eso es algo que se llama concordancia. Tiene que concordar singular con singular, plural con plural, ¿no? Es have, it's plural, so we have to use plural here. Or the contrary, applicant, only one is singular, so you have to use here has, okay? Let's continue. Now, it must have a passport. It must have a passport.
It's the same.
In order to find the mistake in this sentence, you have to read the previous one, okay? In order, you have to read the previous one. So, for immigrants, it is obligatory to speak English very well in order to enroll in the driver's educational program.
They must have a passport.
Yes.
It must has.
No, the mistake here is you are not talking about a thing, an object, so you don't use it. You are talking about people. People. What people? The people who speak English. The immigrants.
Yes.
The immigrants. So you have to use here they. For immigrants, it is obligatory to speak English very well in order to enroll in the diverse educational program. So they, who, the immigrants, must have a passport or birth certificate as ID. Next, the legal status of the immigrant is not an issue. Or is the mistake here?
The letter
What?
is that legal status of the immigrant is not issue. The letter is
You said that this article is not necessary here. Yes?
yes, yes.
It's not issue. Okay. What do you think? Guys, Jorge, Kiara, do you agree with Jimmy? Or
I'm
do
agreeing.
you disagree? What do you say, Kiara?
I'm agreeing.
Okay. But remember something, Kiara. When you say I'm agree, that's not correct. Okay. That's a typical mistake for people who speak Spanish. In Spanish, we say, yo estoy de acuerdo. So we tend to translate word by word. No? Yo estoy de acuerdo. I agree. But no, that's not correct. In English, we say, I agree, no more. Okay?
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
When we say agree, is to be agree with something, okay? But you only have to say, I agree. And the contrary, you can say, I don't agree, or you can say, I disagree, okay? But you don't say, I'm agree, okay? That's not correct. Good, okay. So the legal status of the immigrant is not an issue, okay? That's the mistake, but in order to correct the sentence, we don't have to delete the article, and we have to change that article for an issue. An issue. Why? Because we say the legal status of the immigrant is not an issue. No es issue. Anyone knows what is an issue? What is a synonym for issue?
No problem.
Okay, issue. Yes, that's right. Issue is a problem. When we say I have a technical issue, I have a technical problem. And here they say this legal status of the immigrant is not a problem. We can say a problem, that's correct. But here we are saying that issue, we are using issue. An issue starts with a vowel, with I. So we can say a issue. We have to say an issue. Remember the use of articles. You say a problem, or you say an issue. Why? Because the first letter of this word is a consonant, you have to use a. The first letter of this word is a vowel, you have to use an. Okay? That was very easy, but you didn't identify the mistake. And here, final, the colors. No? No mistake?
Finally,
Ah, that's correct. Here, we are using another linking word, another connector, no? When you are going to finish a text or when you're going to finish speech, you say finally. You don't say final, no? Because final is final. No? But here you're going to say finalmente, no? Finalmente o para finalizar. So here you have to use the adverb. El adverbio tiene que usar finally. Finally, the cost of the test is around $200. Okay? So those were the mistakes we could find here. And now we're going to look at the whole text here.
Teacher, I'm
And
sorry.
I'm going to, yes.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
teacher. My internet cut off. What's wrong with in others?
Okay, no, that was my mistake. Because I
Okay.
highlighted others and that was correct. Okay. I didn't say anything about that because that was not a mistake. Okay, I'm going to, this is the full text, the whole text, and I'm going to underline some words because we are going to pay attention to those words. Here we have the highlight or the underline. There are two types of things we can do here, no? When I do this, is highlight, no? When I do this, is underline, no? Underline, underline, and highlight. No? It's different, no? This is highlight and this is underline, no? In Spanish, subrayar o resaltar, no? Que son diferentes, ¿no? Highlight es resaltar y underline es subrayar. Okay, so we have here some words in order to pay attention. For instance, teenagers. Listen to me, listen to the pronunciation. You don't say teenagers, no, you say teenagers, 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 teenagers. Teenagers are young people, no? When we say teenagers, we are talking about young people. People from about 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, okay? Those are teenagers, teenagers. Attend. Anyone knows what this verb is? Attend?
It's like a shift.
Like a shift? No. No. For instance, you four guys are attending to this session. To this,
Assist.
it's time. Yes, to this, it's time to talk. Attend is to go to a place. For instance, to go to a concert, attend to a concert. To go to an auditorium to listen to someone speaking, you attend to that activity, okay? And when you sign, that's a list of attendance or an attendance, no more. La asistencia a un evento is the attendance, okay? And the verb is attend. So they must attend a driver's educational program, okay? Pay attention to the pronunciation of this one, no? License. You don't say license, no, license. Driver's license. And here is very important the possessive, no? Driver's license, no? La licencia de conducción, driver's license. And here we can find another similar word is driving. You can say driver's license or driving school, no? La escuela de manejo, la escuela de conducción o la licencia del conductor, ¿no? Pero acá también podríamos decir driving license, ¿no? La licencia de conducción, ¿no? So you have to be very careful with these words. These words belong to the same family. Son palabras que pertenecen a la misma familia, ¿no? Drive, driver, driving, no? But we must be very careful when we use each one of them, no? Drive is the verb. Driver is the person who drives. And driving is an adjective in order to qualify, to give a characteristic, okay? So you can say driver's license, driving school. Don't forget that when we use the possessive, you can use like this, the apostrophe before the S or after the S, but it's completely different, no? It's completely different when we say drivers, for instance, driver's license or driver's license. It's not a mistake, and it's completely different, these two expressions, no? When we say driver's license, is the license of one driver. And here is the license of 2, 3, 4, many drivers, no? It's different. Here is singular, here is plural, no? Very careful with that. Okay, the linking words, in addition to, always, you are going to find always in addition to. Like listen to, always you are going to find listen to in addition to. Here, this expression is very common in English, as soon as. What does it mean, as soon as?
Tan pronto como.
Yes. So we can use this type of expression in English because it's very common. And we find the adjective here, as soon as, tan pronto como, as fast as, tan rápido como, no? So for instance, you can say, as fast as I can, as fast as I can, tan pronto o tan rápido como pueda, as fast as I can, as much as, tanto como pueda. Okay? You can use this expression. Okay, they finished the program, they must pass a written test and a driving test. And here, you can forget that there are some words that change the pronunciation, no? For instance, you say right. And of course, if you are thinking, okay, right, you pronounce like this. So if I find this one, I'm going to pronounce written, and that's not correct. Okay, that's not correct. Here is right, but here is written, no? Written. Okay, so pay attention to that verb. And there are many other examples like this, that the words change their pronunciation. Okay, we have the correct use of the verb have or has. Signs. You know what is the traffic signs? Vocabulary, guys. Traffic signs. For instance, don't park here, or park here is forbidden. That's a traffic sign, no? Turn left, turn right. Those are traffic signs. And another related word, traffic light. What is the traffic light? What are the colors?
Semáforo.
Yes. Okay, so the traffic light has 3 colors, red, yellow, and green. Okay. And but it's not always the same, but because there is a country, I don't know, but I know that there is a country around the world where the traffic light, the lights of the traffic light are not red, yellow, and green, no? There is a country where the traffic lights are red, yellow, and blue, no? There is a country. I don't know. I don't know if you know that country, but there is one. You can find that. Okay. First aid. That's a very common word. First aid. Los primeros auxilios, no? You have to learn how to help people. So you have to you have to know the first aid. The driving test is only one, so you have to use is. Applicants. These applicants comes from the verb apply, no? And here we have another word that changed their pronunciation, no? Apply and applicants. Those words belong to the same family, no? Apply is the verb, aplicar, no? But here we use, in English, we use this apply in a different form than in Spanish, okay? En inglés se utiliza mucho este verbo aplicar, no, por ejemplo, para aplicar una inyección, no, sino para aplicar a una vacante, a un empleo, apply, ¿no? Cuando ustedes quieren trabajar en algo, when you are going to find a job, when you are trying to find a good job for you, you are applying to different jobs, okay? To different job opportunities, and that's apply, ¿no? O aplicar a una beca, for instance, that's the verb apply. Apply scholarship, no? Aplicar una beca, scholarship. And applicants are the people who apply, okay? This is a common word in English. In order to, remember that when we use in order to or only to is the same. So here, for example, for immigrants, it is obligatory to speak English very well. To enroll is the same and in order to enroll, okay? Pueden utilizar cualquiera de los to enroll or in order to y es lo mismo. O sea, este to no significa en este caso para y el in order to también no significa para. ¿Qué es lo que pasa? What happened here? Instead of saying 2, 3, 4 times 2, 2, 2, you can use 2, then in order to, más adelante in order to, más adelante to, o sea, esto es como para no repite la misma palabra, entonces pueden utilizar el to, pueden utilizar el in order to, okay? An issue, that was the mistake that we find. Finally, and the cost of the test, no? In order to say the price of something, you say the cost of the test is, the cost of the house is, or you can only say the house, no? You can say, for example, the cost of the house is, or you can only say the house is, and that's correct. Para decir el precio de algo, we can say both of them. The cost of the house or only the house is. For instance, the cost of the house is 200 million. The house is 200 million. Both are correct. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you some questions. Here, they are saying that in the United States, teenagers can have a driver's license when they are 15 years old. What happened here, Jimmy? A man, a boy, a teenager who is 15 years old here in Colombia can have a driver's license?
Yes, in Colombia is permitted with a permission to your parents.
Okay, but 15 years old, are you sure?
Yes, 15 years to 17 before perhaps 18.
Okay, I don't know. I am not quite sure, but I think it's 16, not 15. In the United States, it's 15 years old, but here in Colombia, I was quite sure that it's 16 years old. not 15, okay?
teacher.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, 15 or
Yes.
16
No,
with the
16.
permission their parents.
Yes. Okay, here in Colombia, a boy with 16 years old can have a driver's license and can drive his car around the city. But for instance, if he's going to go to another city, he has to be with an adult, with a parent, because he can't drive outside the city. I think so. Okay, and Jorge, here in Colombia, if you are going to drink alcohol, if you are 18 years old, you can go to a supermarket, buy alcohol, and drink alcohol. Do you know what happens in the United States? Is the same?
No, I think so. In the United States, you have a 2021. I think so.
21. Yes, 21. In the the laws are different according to the countries, no? For instance, in the United States, if you are 15-year-old, you can drive a car. But if you are going to buy alcohol and drink alcohol in a public place, you must be 21 years old, okay? That's in the United States. Here in Colombia, a little different. If you are going to drive a car, you must be 16 years old. If you are going to buy alcohol and drink alcohol in a public place, you must be 18 years old, okay? That's
If you have 15,000, there is no problem.
if you have money, you don't have any problem here in Colombia. Okay, so that's different. And now, in the United States, they say in the reading, you can say that the cost of the test in order to get the driver's license is $200. Anyone knows how much is it here in Colombia? No, anyone knows? I don't know, maybe 1 million? Suppose so, that in order to take the test, to take the course, the driver's course, you have to pay around 1 million.
1,200,000 maybe.
Okay, but here there is a big difference from Colombia to the United States. What is the difference? You take the courses, okay, the first aid, you pass the medical examination, you go to take your eye test, you answer the questions in a written text, but here in Colombia you don't have to take an exam, a driving exam, okay? In the United States, it's different. At the end of the course, you have to take your car and drive in order to get your license. And maybe you can you have already watched this type of exam in the movies or in the series, and there are too many people that can drive and can pass those exams. Okay, here in Colombia it's completely different. If you have the money, if you pay the course, maybe you don't have to complete the full hours, but you pay, you are going to get the license. In the United States, it's quite different. You have to pass, you have to take the exam, the driving exam, and you have to pass the exam, okay? This is very important. Those things are related to the culture, no? Raul, are you there? No, Raul, let me see. No, I was going to ask you, Raul, what happens, for instance, here in Colombia, he has a driving license, but when he goes to another country, I suppose he has to take another exam, another course in order to get the driver license because it's completely different, no? Our driver license is not useful in another country. I don't know, but maybe some countries it can be useful. It can be useful because sometimes people when go to the United States, they rent cars, and I don't think that she has to take an exam in order to rent a car. Maybe the Colombian driver's license help there. I don't know. Anyone knows? Jimmy, Jorge, Kiara, what happened there?
I
With
have
the
a
Colombian
cousin.
driver's license? Yes.
I have a cousin in Canada. Bueno, he has your license in Colombia.
Yes.
In Canada, that is how I say legal.
It's legal.
Yes, only he has to make some I don't know how I say trámite legal,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
como para
To
como
validate.
para que
In order to
exactamente como para
validate.
legalidad.
In order to validate
Yes,
the Colombian driver's license there. Okay,
right.
that's a good point. Yeah, because maybe if you have the driver's license, you are not going to take the test, but you have to validate the paper, the document, no, the legal in order to have the legal document there. I suppose so. Okay, guys, so that was all for today. As always, it was a pleasure to be with you, to share with you. And sometimes it's very easy to identify or to find mistakes, no? It's very easy because the mistakes were made by different people, no? And sometimes we are good at doing that. But it's difficult to when we make the mistakes, no? When we make the mistakes. And this type of exercises is typical from some international exams. Okay, that's why we were doing this today. So, guys, it was a pleasure. Have a good night. See you next Tuesday if you have the opportunity at 11, or if you can't, we'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. So, bye-bye. Have a good night.
Bye bye, teacher. See
Okay,
you.
teacher.
Thanks.
See you later.